we'll just pick up the bits that I dropped on the bench, and I'm just going to saute this very gently just to get it covered with the oil and just to get it started cooking and to make sure it's all broken up. Now, this is a French soup. I think it comes from the Languedoc region, but I could be wrong. I'm absolutely certain. It doesn't come from Provence anyway, I can tell you that. So it's not from the south of France, but I think, you know, it's one of those hearty things, and they change them a lot. Sometimes you use bacon bones. I've even made it with spare ribs, you know, but the American style spare ribs. But here, I'm using the traditional smoked ham hock. I've got a couple of those, and we're just going to throw those in. Bury those a bit, because what I want to happen with these is I want these to cook, and then what I'll do is take them out, allow them to cool a bit, and then I just take off the flesh, get rid of the fat and the bones and things, take off the flesh and add that back to the soup. Yeah, that's what I meant. And I'm now going to add a couple of litres of chicken stock. Now, the important thing at this step, or at this stage, is to make sure that you cover that, because if you don't cover it, what's going to happen is that ham hock's not going to cook. So make sure that that is well covered. Lift up some of those veggies, get it underneath. Just like that. Then we bring that to the boil, cover it, and we'll simmer that until that ham hock is very tender. I would say, 20 to 30 minutes. Maybe, let's make it half an hour. Simmered pretty gently until that's tender. Then we remove the ham hock. Then we start talking about adding some other veggies. Now, those hocks were pretty large, so actually I've cooked it for 3/4 of an hour. Then I took the hocks out, allowed them to cool, and I've taken off the bones and obviously any of the fat and sinew, and I've just diced that. Also, I've got some veggies here which I'm in the middle of doing. Cabbage, take out any of the noticeable ribs, and that's about 1/4 of a cabbage, and I've just sliced it, but a nice green one like a Savoy cabbage, something like that. And also about half a cauliflower, which I'll just cut into pieces. Cut it like that so that they're nice and even. Cut out most of that stalk. See a piece like that? Cut that in half, be great. You don't want them too large. We'll just bring that liquid back up, so we'll turn that up high now. And also, I'll just do a bit of zucchini too, but I'll just mix that in, Rob, so just hang about there for a minute. Now, sometimes you might find you have to add a little bit more liquid at this stage. If you see any big ribs like that, grab them. But look, I think that's going to be all right, because as I said to you before, this is stew type material. This is not the real soup. You know, crusty bread on the side and away you go. Now, some zucchini. A couple of those will be enough. And we'll just cut those into quarters. Now, this is not a soup you blend, so therefore the veggies have to be vaguely neat. Throw that in as well. Once again, mix that in. Now, what I'll also do is test the seasoning. You certainly won't need any salt, because obviously what you've got is the smoked ham hock, which is always going to be a bit salty. That is delicious. It really is. The combination of the ham hocks cooking in the chicken stock and all those veggies, just giving that the most delightful flavour. A little bit of pepper. But that's pretty optional, because it could do with even out that. Now, what we'll do now is cook that for about 10 minutes. Then I'll return the ham hock. I don't want to put that in now because I'm boiling it a bit, and this only really needs to reheat very lightly. And what you've got is a great dish, you know, on a winter's evening. Can you imagine sitting around the fire, bowl of that, big chunk of bread? I don't know, did your mother used to cut bread about that thing and call them doorstops? They were beautiful. That would be perfect with that soup.